Joining me this evening is Dr. Srividya. She's the director of Apollo Pro Health. They are the ones who have made that report on India's health. Hi, Dr. Srividya. Good evening, and thank you very much for joining us on Mirror Now. Doctors, first things first. Apollo has come out with this report on the health of the nation, and by the looks of it, India is not very healthy. We thought we were healthy. Turns out we aren't. But the big worry, as per your report, is cancer. Your report is finding that India could very well be the world's cancer capital. How did we get to this point?
Thank you so much for having me here. And I am not at all surprised that we are reaching here, because as we are peaking to multiple achievements in India, the one thing which we are actually not prioritizing at all is our health. And when I say our health, if you know that today, this year's World Health Day slogan is also My Health, My Right. We all talk about my right. We talk about our right to freedom of speech, our right to have a decent earning, a decent living, but nobody talks about this very, very tangible, expected or decent right to live, and that is a healthy life. And let's speak about that. So cancer, the big cancer, Karkarog, which we never ever want to talk about because it is scary. Why are we in this phase where we are heading towards another capital in our life? Is because it is too scary. We don't even want to know that I can develop cancer. I can pick it up when by the time I become symptomatic, it is too late in the day for me. I have to go through the rigors of treatment. I have to go through the rigors of a surgery, radiation, chemo, wherein it could have been either easily prevented or it could have been earlyly picked up. And so that is one of the reasons why we are at a place where we could possibly become the cancer capital.
Now, in the last 6 years, according to your report, the number of cancer cases have actually doubled, doctor. In fact, a little more than doubled. What is this being attributed to? Okay, there is a lack of screening that you have talked about, but what else?
See, if we can start about the number doubling is actually because there has been more detection in the diagnostic ranges. That means once the symptoms have come and they have been picked up, that is one of the times when it has been picked up. The other is the increase family risk, which is like people are becoming. So if there is a family genetics of breast cancer, people are getting checked. If there is a history of gut cancer, they're going to check, but they're not going actively to go and check it up. The other reason is the increased pollution, the increased alcohol intake, smoking has increased. So many things have, we are all aping the westernized living in such a way that we do not realize that the Western countries have actually gone through this whole rigmarole and have become smarter. So we also have to go through this whole labor pain and birth pain to realize that, okay, yes, we are also going to be going through the same thing and still not have the economics to handle increased cancer burden because we may not have the health infrastructure as such. So the reason for increased cancer detection, not the screening, is the fact that more and more people are suffering. More and more people are becoming symptomatic with cancer.
Okay, what is it about the data that actually scared you, specifically regarding cancer? Is it that increasingly you see the demographic that is reporting cancer getting younger?
Two things which actually scares me. One is the age at which we are picking up cancer. That means 25% of breast cancer are less than 40-year-old, which is scary. The other is that there is still a huge chunk that we are not screening. That is the other thing, that though we say cancer is on the rise, but we still are not screening enough and we still are not on target for the actual data. Do you know that there is no Indian registry today to tell us the exact lung cancer data in India? We do not have a registry which says no, but no scientific body. We are not screening enough. So we have a younger generation which is picking up early cancer, but we still do not have our numbers right. And that is scary.
Okay, doctor, then can I ask you, as even as a viewer and as a citizen of this country, are there hidden, concealed carcinogens that we encounter in our daily lives that we need to be aware of?
What is hidden? Everything is in the open. We know smoking is carcinogenic, whether it is primary smoking or it is passive smoking, it is carcinogenic. Additives are carcinogenic, processed food are carcinogenic, obesity in itself is carcinogenic, pollution is carcinogenic. Look at the number of cars on the road. Look at the number of constructions on the road. Look at the plastics. If I look at the city which I live today, Chennai city, after every monsoon deluge, the amount of plastic which is thrown out of the river, we are living in an artificial world. And that is the cost of living in an artificial world. The amount of processed food, and believe me, I can go on, the list is never ending. The processed food itself, for the preservatives which we are using, is carcinogenic. I'm not going to say that it is that small amount of preservative in that 100 ml which is causing the cancer, but it is the dominoes effect. Diabetes, rampant diabetes. So let me give you a very small anecdotal. A woman who comes with breast cancer, early detection, gets treated, is diabetic, goes home cancer-free but not diabetes-free, comes back with uterus cancer in 10 years' time. This is a regular story in a very, very well-known cancer hospital, which is a government-aided hospital. This is a very, very... ovarian cancer woman comes back with a cervical cancer. She's undergone chemo, she's undergone radiation for one, but because of diabetes, so diabetes itself is another risk factor. Hormone therapy, infertility treatment. You can go on and go on. So many reasons. So it is, and believe me, it is like they are hiding in plain sight. This is one of the best examples. So there is no hidden cause of cancer. The reason, cause of cancer is all there for us to see. But we are in the middle of a life which I was once told by somebody who I care so much that, you know what, we need to take care of our life so that we do not suffer 20 years from today. The answer was, why should I not enjoy life today because I am going to suffer 20 years from today? Do you realize the conundrum here? So the causes are all in plain sight. There is nothing hidden here. We don't want to see.
Okay, the report, apart from cancer, is also talking about other non-communicable diseases, and that is worrying as well. We are putting out the graphics as well. Now, you've spoken about diabetes, but there is hypertension as well, which is a big concern in India. What else?
So hypertension, for example, used to be that there was a rule of 50, say 10 years back, that 50% of Indian population were not detected to have hypertension. Out of that 50%, who were on treatment, diagnosed hypertension, who were on treatment, were under poor control of hypertension. And out of that, people who were under poor control had complications. So we used to call it a rule of 50, something like that. Now it is like 1 in 7. It's not even 50%. That means 1 in 7